offers an income of barely $5 a day.
Ngayon, makasurvive lang minsan, 2 beses.
For us, we are happy to have 2 meals a day. My income is only enough to buy rice, so often we just eat rice with salt.
The plight of these indigenous people is difficult to understand if you have not experienced it for yourself. The volunteers give their blessings and material support as they wish this family the best until the next meeting.
As we begin today's program in the Philippines. Tzu Chi Philippines chapter has been helping underprivileged families by distributing rice donated by Taiwan's Council of Agriculture. Volunteers recently headed to Manila to host a rice distribution in Quezon City's Pasong Tamo for more than 2,000 poor families. Vice President of the Philippines was also present at the event.
Tzu Chi Philippines chapter hosted a rice distribution in Quezon City, participated by more than 2,000 underprivileged families. The Vice President of the Philippines, Leni Robredo, also came to the event.
Every disaster that strikes, Tzu Chi is the first one on the ground. So I've been really curious how this kind of culture was inculcated within the foundation. And I'm very thankful that I was invited here today. I'm grateful to Tzu Chi Foundation for all the work that you've been doing for the Filipino people.
Since 2002, Taiwan's Council of Agriculture started to allot grains and rice every year to charitable groups to apply for relief assistance. This project has helped many impoverished families in the Philippines over the past few years.
Today, we not only distributed rice to them, but we also shared with them Tzu Chi's spirit and mission, which is love. Besides conducting relief work, Tzu Chi also reaches out to every corner of the Philippines day and night and year after year.
A bag of 20 kilograms of rice may not mean a lot to most people in Taiwan, but it may be important food for many Filipino families.
I received the rice for the first time. If some of my neighbors don't have rice to cook, I will share the rice with them.
This woman, who scavenged for a living, has to raise 6 children alone. On this day, she brought back the rice and could not wait to fill her rice bucket.
I am very thankful. My children finally have food to eat and they won't go hungry. They can grow up strong and healthy. Thank God and you guys for bringing blessings to us.
The rice from Taiwan can not only fill everyone's stomach, but it also helps to nourish the seed of benevolence in many people's hearts.
Next, we see how, thanks to Tzu Chi's help, Ormoc residents in the Philippines are living a better life than before.
In Ormoc City, most of the workers constructing this building come from Da'ai village. Among them, Jonas Paroso, who's 20, is the youngest. He gives his wages to his mother every day.
It is my duty to help my mother, so I give half of my salary to her. Then she can pay for my siblings' tuition and living expenses.
In the past, Paroso loved to play and drink. After participating in Tzu Chi's Work for Relief program in the aftermath of Typhoon Haiyan, he helped build his family's house and realized his responsibility as the eldest son.
I am very grateful. I am happy to have a son like him. His pay was not enough, so that's why he had to look for another job. He is lucky that he was hired.
Another Da'ai villager, Ivy Aquino, has also found hope here. Originally, her family of 4 had to rely on her parents for help. Since her husband learned some work skills from Tzu Chi's Work for Relief program, he has a steady job now. She's also employed part-time at the Tzu Chi office and living a better life than before.
I am very grateful that we have a house now and no longer have to pay rent. I am also grateful for receiving monetary aid. This helps us with daily expenses.
At the construction site, Paroso and Aquino's husband are being praised by the foreman for their positive work attitude and skills.
They are quick in accepting directions and catch up really easily. Their work attitude is also great. If we have other projects at construction sites, I would hire them again.
4 years after Typhoon Haiyan devastated the area,
Taay villagers are now leading better lives than before. One villager who attends to a farm does not use pesticide. Upon city volunteers' recent visit, she gives them a large bag of corn. The sweetness of the corn reflects the sincere gratitude and feelings of the villagers.
It has been over 3 months since Typhoon Nocten struck the Philippines. The storm was particularly devastating to Catanduanes. Fortunately, volunteers have been making regular visits to help families rebuild. At the end of March, Tzu Chi volunteers successfully completed the 5th aid distribution since the disaster. It has been 3 months since the typhoon hit Catanduanes, Philippines. Tzu Chi volunteers are well known by the community here, and they are now carrying out the 5th aid distribution since the disaster. Residents patiently await the distribution. The governor has also come to participate as a volunteer.
This is a great help for those that have lost their houses. If you notice, many people have already begun purchasing the materials to help repair their homes.
It was Christmas last year that Typhoon Nocten struck, destroying homes and crops. Volunteers were dispatched from Manila, traveling by bus and boat to reach the disaster area as quickly as possible to distribute goods and financial relief to victims. The total amount of aid from Tzu Chi is nearly 3 times that of local government.
We will definitely make good use of this money. Of course, people will use it to repair their homes. There's no better use for it.
Local volunteers also took the opportunity to make visits to families in need of special help. This volunteer named Ingracia brings rice and a special pair of shoes for this resident, Pedro, who was born without forearms or lower legs.
These are not your average shoes. Because of their special design, they're suitable for Petro to wear.
I would first like to thank God. It is like He called for Tzu Chi to come and help us, especially coming to help our town, San Andres.
Volunteers also visit this old blind couple, bringing rice and blessings after the neighbors informed them of the old couple's condition.
I introduced the couple to the Tzu Chi Foundation since I knew that Tzu Chi could help them, since Tzu Chi helps other families in need.
Over the course of 4 days, Tzu Chi was able to help 3,360 families during this distribution, with 20 kilos of rice given to each family, along with emergency relief funds to help them repair their damaged homes.
Since January of this year, Tzu Chi volunteers in the Philippines have rolled out a work for relief program, paying volunteers to promote recycling in 10 communities of Ormoc. At the end of March, Ormoc City government signed a memorandum of agreement with Tzu Chi, expanding this recycling project to cover the entire city.
The MOA signing ceremony is being held at the Ormoc City Government Square. The city mayor attends the ceremony, looking forward to a cleaner and more beautiful city.
We have 110 barangays, and it's not easy to do that. And we're very happy that Tzu Chi is behind this program. No?
That's the most important thing that they have to know. We teach people how to do recycle, and then we collect recyclables.
In the aftermath of Typhoon Haiyan, Tzu Chi helped Ormoc residents rebuild their homes. This year, Tzu Chi rolled out a work for relief program promoting recycling in 10 communities. After signing the MOA, the plan will expand and cover the entire city. Therefore, one volunteer has written a song to promote environmental awareness.
When they hear the song I wrote, I hope they will think about how to help recycling. It is not only beneficial to ourselves, but also the entire world.
I know these PET bottles can be recycled and made into different products, such as blankets.
With
Tzuji's recycling plan, the environment is cleaner than before.
napakinabangan pa.
Labi na dunay mga katalagman, Tzuji Foundation ang damutabang.
Hindi na sila
I will wash the bottles before giving them to Tzuji volunteers, so they do not need to wash them.
Kaya nilinisin ko muna bago ko ibigay sa kanila.
Mag-recycling ka, mag-recycling ka, arusin mag-recycling din malipay na. Dapong tabang ini sa kalikasan, laki na sa atong kalibutan.
We are not collecting garbage, but protecting the earth.
Sir Earth Saver.
In celebration of the Filipino president's birthday, the Tzuji Philippines chapter recently partnered with the Chinese General Hospital to host its 218th free medical outreach at the Presidential Palace in Manila, where a total of 1,351 staff members and their families benefited from the event.
Sitting in the dental treatments area, 33-year-old Mary Ann feels anxious because this is the first time she has come to the dentist. As a single mother of 3, she spends her meager income on her children rather than herself.
My teeth often hurt, but since I don't earn a good salary and I have to raise 3 children alone, I have to leave the money to support my children and their tuition. I can do nothing but tolerate my toothache.
The Tzuji Philippines chapter collaborates with the Chinese General Hospital to host its 218th free clinic in the Presidential Palace of the Philippines. The clinic serves the low-ranking staff.
Especially this is the birthday of our president. So we conduct a much bigger medical mission here.
Everybody will be thinking, how come we are doing it here? But in reality, there are also low-ranking officers or low-ranking workers. They need also medical mission from time to time.
Though the subjects the volunteers serve at this time is different from those of the past, volunteers show the same passion. They started to prepare hot meals at 5 in the morning. This time, 7 different medical departments are provided, with 1,351 staff members and their families being served.
Instead of celebrating with drinks and food, but what is being celebrated is helping others, benefiting others. So this is a very beautiful concept of our president.
36-year-old Maricel Dionela had a tumor on her left cheek. Over the past 9 years, she hadn't yet undergone a removal surgery due to her lack of money. However, she was finally able to feel at ease on this day.
Although the tumor is benign, I always feel uneasy because other people may give me a particular look. The tumor has been removed at this clinic, so I feel thankful for Tzuji's assistance.
Volunteers along with the medical team safeguard the health of low-ranking staff at the Presidential Palace, showing love and care, which also makes the president's birthday extraordinarily meaningful.
Next, we'll follow along as Sarah Dede goes into her operation to remove the tumor from her jaw. After the surgery, which lasted nearly 16 hours, Sarah is kept in the intensive care unit while her jawbone's healing is monitored. Here's our report.
After anesthesia has been administered and prep work is complete, the medical team gets to work with the first stage of the tumor removal. The surgeon is Xia Yiran, a specialist with many years of experience dealing with oral cancer surgery. However, with a diameter of over 11 centimeters, Sarah's tumor is the largest he has ever removed from a patient's jaw.
During the removal process, it will be really important to determine how close the tumor has grown to the veins and arteries of the neck. We have to separate it carefully and completely while being careful of these blood vessels and important nerves.
After the tumor has been carefully removed, the next portion of the operation involves restructuring Sarah's jaw. To create the jaw replacement, a 3D printer was used to sculpt a thigh bone into the shape of the jaw. Sculpting the new jawbone was the most difficult and time-consuming part of the preparation before surgery.
After we remove the leg bone and sculpt it into a new jaw shape, we hope that when we are implanting the new jaw, that the patient's blood vessels are elastic enough to stretch and then tighten back up around the new jaw to keep the bone alive.
The surgery appears to have been a success, and the contrast between Sarah's before and after image is striking. For the next 3 days, Sarah will be kept in an intensive care unit while the bone's healing is monitored. Then, the next stage of the dental implant surgery will be conducted.
In another medical piece, in the Philippines, Sarah Dede from Cebu had a toothache 7 years ago. But because she did not have the money to see the dentist, she asked a witch doctor for help. Unfortunately, this treatment did not work, and her lower jaw swelled, affecting her ability to eat and speak. Upon learning of her problem, a kind-hearted German tourist gave her money so she could see a dentist. However, she still needed surgery, which would cost a lot of money. Therefore, the dentist later contacted Tzu Chi for help, and Tzu Chi has decided to send Sarah to Taipei Tzu Chi Hospital in Taiwan for treatment.
For 7 years, Sarah has been in pain and great discomfort because her lower jaw has become swollen, preventing her from eating and speaking with ease. All this stemmed from just one toothache.
I asked a witch doctor for help. He used a pair of pliers to remove the tooth, but the part removed was small. The whole tooth wasn't removed completely.
Sarah and her husband live in Cebu, Philippines. They have 6 children which they must raise. Thus she had no money to see a doctor for her toothache. One kind German tourist paid for her dental treatment. But because she needed surgery and it was more than she could afford, as this dentist contacted Tzu Chi for help.
People like her are unfortunate because she has no money to see the doctor, so she can only ask a witch doctor for help, and that delayed her treatment.
Tzu Chi decided to send her to Taiwan for the surgery. Her sister-in-law has been accompanying her. The volunteers also take turn accompanying her from Cebu to Manila.
I'm very happy because I will have the surgery and I'll have no more pain.
The trip to Taiwan will change Sarah's life forever.
The Philippines. After the large fire broke out on February 7th in one of Manila's slum areas, Tzu Chi was there to help some 3,000 affected residents by providing them hot meals for 3 consecutive days. Seeing Tzu Chi sharing such love and compassion with the residents inspired some disaster victims to express their thanks by helping to wash the reusable tableware. Let's take a look.
A fire broke out in one of Manila's slum areas on February 7th and burned down more than 3,000 houses. Currently, some 8,000 affected residents are living in the gym. Tzu Chi sends its mobile kitchen in the early morning to prepare hot meals. The fire victims patiently stand in line waiting for their hot meals. After they finish the meals, they also help wash the reusable tableware.
Tzu Chi helps a lot of people, not just here, but in other places around the Philippines.
Josephine feels thankful as Tzu Chi offers 3 hot meals a day, which helps to feed her mother. She can still clearly remember the days on which Tzu Ji provided assistance to her family 2 years ago.
Bahay niya nasa gate 20 Parula. 2 years ago.
On November 15th, 2 years ago, when my mother's home got caught fire, Tzu Ji came to help. This time you are here to help us again after my home caught fire.
Tzu Ji Mobile Kitchen served the fire victims for 3 consecutive days. Later, Tzu Ji will also distribute relief items for them.
I thank the volunteers in the Tzu Ji Mobile Kitchen for providing hot meals for the affected residents.
Though the voice of this district's captain is nearly hoarse, he still wants to express his gratitude as volunteers give fire victims more confidence in rebuilding their homes.
Over the Christmas holidays, Typhoon Nocten caused severe damages in the Philippines, affecting 250,000 residents. One of the heavily damaged areas was Catanduanes. The Tzu Ji volunteers recently flew to the area to investigate the situation and plan relief work.
It is the holiday season, so it is not easy to buy a plane ticket to Catanduanes. Once Tzu Ji volunteers obtain the tickets, they flew there immediately. Typhoon Nocten made landfall in the Philippines during Christmas time, causing damage to 7 areas in Catanduanes. Volunteers split into 2 teams to visit the affected residents. The glass houses they see have been destroyed.
We need a new home because our old one was ruined. Now we are staying at a neighbor's house because his house still stands.
Besides their houses, their abaca gardens and coconut trees that can bring them income have also been destroyed.
Hindi ko nga malaman kung anong gagawin ko. Uunahin ko yung trabaho.
I don't know if I should work or rebuild my house first. I don't know which one is the most important, so I must do it first.
Without any money, they can't rebuild their damaged houses. Richard found a piece of canvas somewhere and used it to replace a wall that was blown away.
Yung bahay namin, tingnan, ayos na po kasi walang...
My house seems very strong, but it still lacks some things here and there. I'm trying hard to rebuild it because we need it.
Rosalie was forced to borrow money to buy a canvas, so at least her house can shelter her family from the elements.
We borrow money to buy a canvas because without it, the kids will become sick when they get wet from the rain.
People here are mostly poor and live in grass huts. We saw many of them had been destroyed. After we went to 4 places, we came to understand their needs.
The government also hopes Tzu Ji can conduct a cash forward program to help these typhoon victims.
We need materials so people can start reconstruction or repairing damaged houses. The second most important thing is food.
After understanding victims' situations, Tzu Ji volunteers will soon begin carrying out relief work.
Staying in the Philippines in light of the world's Interfaith Harmony Week, which seeks to provide a platform for religious leaders to focus on their similarities with one another, various religions and organizations, including Tzu Ji, were invited to a breakfast at Mandaluyong City earlier in February. Religious leaders of various faiths of the Philippines gather in Mandaluyong City for the Harmony Breakfast as part of the world's Interfaith Harmony Week.
I think they recognize Tzu Ji is also an important part of the interfaith or different sectors, no? And for this kind of activity is also good for everybody to promote peace and unity of from different religion or different faith.
The Tzu Ji Foundation was invited to attend to share what Tzu Ji has done all over the globe. The religious leaders present have as many things in common with one another as their differences in creed.
Yes, basically it's love, it's charity. Our love for humanity and our love for nature and the world. And that is very important, our love for creation. There can only be peace and order if we follow love in our hearts and love that we can see there in creation.
The word Islam means peace.
The word Islam means peace. This means working together to achieve peace. Sadly, there are people that misinterpret Islam, Muslim or non-Muslim.
Either Muslim or non-Muslim.
It has always been our practice as Buddhists and also the practice of many religions, and this is the very important similarity or tie that we bring together.
This gathering of representatives of different religion or faiths will foster bonds between one another to help bring a new world overflowing with love. In the Philippines, a fire broke out on January 30th in a slum area near Manila. A total of 224 families were severely affected. Currently, fire victims are staying at a nearby church. Tzu Chi volunteers recently hosted a relief aid distribution to support and comfort the affected residents, helping them to quickly get back on their feet.
In this slum area, hundreds of houses have been burned down without any roof being intact. More than 200 affected families have to temporarily stay in a nearby church. To help the fire victims get through the difficult time, Manila Tzu Chi volunteers brought relief items for them, including mattresses, daily necessities, and rice.
I feel thankful for receiving these relief items. This is a great help to us, especially the current time after we lost everything. Thanks again to all of you.
Thank you for providing relief items for us, which are helpful for our daily life. We were unable to save anything from the disaster, so we thank you and God for coming into our life.
Unfortunately, a 1-year-old infant died from the fire. Edwina feels particularly sad because she used to be the child's babysitter.
I think Tzu Chi volunteers are sent here by God to help us. Because of your assistance, we are able to have the courage to live.
These relief items are a great help to us. Because of your assistance, I hope I will have the opportunity to become a volunteer to help those in need.
Besides providing relief supplies for the fire victims, volunteers also lead them to pray, giving them confidence and courage to rebuild their homes.
In the Philippines, a large fire broke out in a slum area of Manila's Tondo on February 7th, which gutted an entire residential block and displaced 3,000 families. In the aftermath of the disaster, Tzu Chi immediately mobilized to distribute relief supplies, and the Tzu Chi Mobile Kitchen was also sent to cook hot meals for the fire victims.
Three days after the fire was contained, the white smoke is still wafting from the disaster area. Affected residents return to their damaged homes looking for belongings. 3,000 affected families have settled at 5 different temporary shelters. It's very inconvenient for residents to live in this gym, as it doesn't have any partitions, and the air is also humid and stagnant. To fill these fire victims' stomachs, Manila Tzu Chi volunteers immediately mobilized its mobile kitchen from the Tzu Chi Philippines chapter 2 days after the fire.
Okay, so all the participants, okay, please settle down. We will now start with our 3-in-1 celebration today.
Few borough heads near Tondo area have already been collaborating.
Let's all rise for our Philippine National Anthem.
Tayo po tayong lahat para sa pambansang awit.
seated.
Okay, maupo po tayong lahat.
Good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon, brothers and sisters. Good afternoon, our guests. First of all, we would like to acknowledge the presence of our guest, Mayor of Marikina, Mayor Marcelino Teodoro.
Palakpakin po natin. Nandito po ang ating minamahal na mayor, si Mayor Marcelino Teodoro.
Secondly, we would like to acknowledge the presence of Mayor of San Mateo, Mayor Cristina Diaz.
Okay, nandito rin po ang mahal na mayor natin ng San Mateo, si Mayor Cristina Diaz.
Next on our list, I would like to acknowledge also the presence of our Vice Mayor of Marikina City.
San Mateo.
Oh, I'm sorry, San Mateo.
Si Vice Mayor Jose Rafael Diaz. Nandito rin po siya. Maraming salamat sa inyong pagdating.
Next, we'd like to welcome the representative from Taiwan Economic and Cultural Office in the Philippines, Deputy Administrative James Chu.
非常欢迎我们驻菲台湾办事处的公使朱熹公使的到来，感恩您的到来。
And next, we'd like to welcome the presence of Councilor of Marikina City, Councilor Boji Buencamino. And last but not the least, from Taiwan Association, Honorary President Andy Cheng.
感恩我们的台商总会的名誉总会长郑国斌先生的到来。
Good afternoon, brothers and sisters, our distinguished guests.
Magandang hapon po sa inyong lahat.
Today, we are celebrating Buddha Day, Tzu Chi Day, and Mother's Day. Every second Sunday of May, we commemorate the birth of Buddha. The Buddha teaches us how to be mindful of our hearts and cleanse away our inner impurities. Today, we also celebrate the 51st birthday of Tzu Chi. It is a day of gratitude to all living beings, and without every volunteer's joint efforts, Tzu Chi would not be able to carry out the missions of charity, the missions of medicines, the missions of education, and the missions of culture. And lastly, but not the least, today is also Mother's Day. Let us not forget that our parents gave us life. Kung wala po ang ating mga magulang, wala po tayo dito sa mundo. And so, let us join our hearts, calm our minds, and together be sincere on this very day while we celebrate the 3-in-1 celebration, the Buddha Day, the Tzu Chi Day, and Mother's Day. And now, may we welcome, it's an honor for us to welcome the Mayor of Marikina, Mayor Marcelino Teodoro, for his
Okay, let us welcome our Honorable Mayor Marcelino Teodoro for our welcome remarks.
Maraming salamat. Kay Mayor Tina Diaz, Vice Mayor Paeng Diaz, to our Deputy Representative James Chu of the Taipei Economic and Cultural Office, to our CEO Henry Yunes of Tzu Chi Foundation, to Alfred Lee and James Chu, our Deputy CEO of Tzu Chi Foundation, to Mr. Andy Cheng of the Taiwan Association, to Councilor Boji Bernardino, Sa lahat po ng mga panauhin po natin ngayon at sa mga Chuchi volunteers na naririto ho, sa dami at sa bilang ng mga taong naiipon po sa lugar na ito, sa araw na ito, sa pagdiriwang natin ng tatlong mahalagang okasyon, ang Buddha's birthday po, ang kaarawan po ng ating great teacher, the Buddha, ang pag-alala po natin sa Mother's Day, sa pagpapakita ng ating pagmamahal at paggalang sa ating mga ina, na ang kanilang pagmamahal ang dahilan kung bakit ang maraming bagay dito sa ating mundo ay nangyayari. 51 years ago, Chuchi Foundation was established and we are now celebrating the Chuchi Global Day. And my understanding is that this celebration is happening simultaneously in other countries. Mapalad ang Marikina, ang lungsod na ito, sapagkat sa pagmamahal at pangangalaga ng Chuchi Foundation, nangyari ang undoy ilang taon ang nakakaraan at ang Marikina maaaring hindi ganito sa ngayon kung hindi sa tulong at kalinga ng Chuchi Foundation. Hindi lang naayos ang paligid, hindi lang naibalik ang mga tahanang nasira, kundi higit sa lahat ay nabuo ang pamilya dito sa Marikina sa pagmamahal at mga pagpapahalagang naituro ng Chuchi sa amin. Maraming salamat po sa Chuchi Foundation sapagkat ang binuo ay hindi lang mga bahay, higit sa lahat ang buhay. Maraming gawain tayo sa hapon na ito na hindi lang magpapaalaala sa mga mahalagang bagay na meron tayo sa buhay natin, ngunit higit sa lahat ay magbibigay kasiglahan at magbibigay ng panibagong lakas para sa lahat ng naririto. Sa mga turo ni Buddha, umaasa tayo na ang buhay ay magiging maayos at payapa. Kaya payapaang hindi lamang nasa isip o kapayapaang hinahanap, kundi kapayapaang nasa atin na kailangan lamang nating matagpuan. Kagandahan ng buhay na makikita sa kabila ng kung ano ang meron tayo sa ngayon. Sa hindi pagnanais sa maraming bagay, na doon matatagpuan ang kabutihan ng buhay. Ang kahirapan ay wala sa material na bagay, kundi nasa kaisipan at nasa kalooban. At maraming salamat sa Chuchi Foundation, sapagkat sa mga taga-Marikina, ito ang inyo pong tinuro sa amin. Natagpuan namin ang kapayapaan, ang kabutihan, at ang tunay na kayamanan sa buhay. Maraming salamat po at umaasa po ako na sa mga darating pang araw ay makakasama namin kayo at kami po ay matuturuan pa po ninyo. Sa pagdiriwang po ng ating ng araw ng mga ina, nabanggit po sa akin ni Sir Alfred mamaya ay may mga washing of the feet na gagawin. Excited po ako. First time I'll be doing this. And hopefully it will teach me the life lessons that I needed, most needed. Ang paggalang at pagpapakita ng gratitude sa ating mga ina sa kanyang ginawa. At kung ano ang meron tayo, ay dahil ito sa Kanya. And again, my congratulations to the Chuchi Day on its global day, on the 51st year of Chuchi. At sa ngalan po ng ating lungsod, malugod ko po kayong binabati ng may kasiglahan at kasiyahan sa araw na ito. Mabuhay po tayong lahat at magandang hapon po sa ating lahat.
Maraming salamat po sa ating mahal na mayor, no? Napaka-inspiring po ang mensahe na ibinigay po sa atin, no? Tulad po ng sinabi ni Mayor, no? Ang sufferings natin, no, nanggaling yan spiritually, galing yan sa ating puso, no? So through the teachings of Buddha, no, we cleanse our heart and para maibalik, no, ang purity ng bawat isa sa atin at para maibsan natin, no, itong mga kahirapan natin sa buhay.
Maraming salamat po, Mayor. And on the list, we would like to also acknowledge the presence of former Councilor of San Mateo Rizal, Mr. Norby Rivera.
Okay, maraming salamat po sa inyong pagdating.
Thank you po. And on our next speaker, we would like to welcome the Mayor of San Mateo, Mayor Cristina Diaz, to give us a short message.
Okay, palakpakan po natin. Nandito po si ating mahal na mayora, no, sa ating mensahe.
Isang mainit na pagbati sa ating lahat. Good afternoon, everyone. Unay, pahintulutan niyo po muna na aking batiin ng ating mga kasama na nakikisa ngayong araw na ito sa ating pag-celebrate ng Buddha Day, Mother's Day, and the 51st year anniversary of Chuchi Foundation. Una ay mula sa bayan ng San Mateo. Okay. Ang aming pagbati to the Marikina Mayor, Mayor Marcy Teodoro. Palakpakan po natin. To our Vice Mayor Paeng Diaz, former Mayor of San Mateo. To Marikina City Councilor Boji Bernardino. To San Mateo former Councilor Norby Rivera. To Taipei Economic and Cultural Office Deputy Representative, Minister James S. Chu. Good afternoon, sir. And Mr. Andy Cheng. To Brother Henry Yunes, the new CEO of Chuchi Foundation Philippines. To our dear Uncle Alfred Lee, former CEO of Chuchi Philippines. Ang amin din pong pagbati sa lahat ng Chuchi medical groups and volunteers and as well as the Chuchi youth. Muli, isang magandang hapon ng aming pagbati mula sa bayan ng San Mateo sa bawat mamamayan, hindi lamang mula sa bayan namin, ngunit maging dito sa Marikina City. Good afternoon once again. Mga kasama, ako po'y naniniwala na isa ang mga araw na ito sa dakilang araw na dapat natin ikagalak at talaga namang dapat ipagdiwang. Ngayong araw na ito, we are celebrating the birthday of Buddha, Mother's Day, and as well as the global anniversary of Chuchi Foundation. Kaya naman bilang pasasalamat at pagdiriwang, ating igawad ang isang malakas na palakpakan. Ang buwan po ng Mayo ay napakahalaga para sa amin pong mga taga San Mateo. Lalong-lalo na po sa personal na buhay ng inyong lingkod. Ang Mayo po para sa mga anak ng San Mateo ay buwan ng pagkilala at pasasalamat sa kabutihan ng Chuchi Foundation sa bayan ng San Mateo. Ito rin ang buwan kung saan ginugunita natin ang lahat ng mga dakilang aral ni Buddha. Through the celebration of the bathing of Buddha, we are all reminded of the virtue of appreciation and gratefulness to the very examples and teaching, the Buddha continues to teach all of us. Buddha, great teacher, reminds us the sense of gratefulness to the beauty of creation, of nature, of environment, of tranquility, of peace, of serenity, and of all human beings, of our parents, of our families. Amidst our celebration come the two potent reminders of gratitude and humility. It is gratitude that reminds us how Tzu Chi Foundation has made significant impacts in all our lives. It is the gratitude of our hearts that make us remember that once in our lifetime, the men and women behind Tzu Chi Foundation has brought us not just assistance in times of need and crisis, but more so, the men and women behind Tzu Chi Foundation, following the authentic example of Buddha and our dear Dharma Master Cheng Yen, taught us of what love for others really mean. It is the gratitude of our hearts that reminds us that Tzu Chi crosses the greatest boundaries and barriers to reach us where we are, no matter what the situation may be. Ang Tzu Chi Foundation po, sa nakalipas na maraming taon, anumang kwento ng buhay, inaabot, nilalapitan, pinupuntahan, niyayakap ang sinuman. Ang Tzu Chi Foundation, tinuturuan tayong pahalagahan ang mga bagay na sa tingin natin ay walang halaga. Ang Tzu Chi Foundation, minumulat hindi lamang ang ating mga mata, kundi maging ang ating mga puso at isipan. Sa mga panahon na ang tanging nakikita o nararamdaman ng marami sa atin ay kawalan ng lakas at pag-asa, sa mga panahon na ang ating tanging nasa harap ay mabigat na karamdaman o sakit, sa mga panahon na akala natin ay kapos na kapos tayo at gipit na gipit, at sa mga panahon na pinanghihinaan tayo ng kalooban at sinusubukan ang ating paniniwala sa kapwa at maging sa ating Panginoon, Tzu Chi Foundation reminds us that the world and the universe are good and that there is goodness in each of us. It is a goodness in each of us that Tzu Chi made us realize when all else seems to be hopeless and doubtful. Dahil po sa inyong kabutihan at kagandahang loob, tinuran niyo kami lahat na mabuti ang mundo at may kabutihan sa puso ng bawat nilalang. For this, Tzu Chi Foundation, marami pong salamat. We shall forever be thankful. Thank you very much, Uncle. From this gratitude of heart comes the lesson of humility. Always humility. Kakambal ng isang pusong mapagpasalamat ang pusong mapagkumbaba. Kapatid ng pusong mapagpasalamat ang pusong marunong kumilala at tumanaw ng utang na loob. And this gives us the real sense of happiness, a sense of fulfillment, and a kind sense of completeness, the meaning and purpose of who we are. Narito po tayong lahat ngayon at natitipon kasama ang bawat isa sa atin, ang lahat ng bumubuo ng Tzu Chi Foundation Philippines. Iisa lamang ang nagbubuklod sa atin. Iisa lamang ang dahilan kung bakit tayo narito ngayon. Dahil sa ipinamalas at wagas na pagmamalasakit at pagmamahal ng Tzu Chi Foundation sa ating lahat, kaya tayo naririto. Our thankful hearts remind us of the vocation to be humble and to be of service to others and gather us together in celebration of love and friendship. Naniniwala po ako na ito rin ang nais ni Buddha, lalo na ni Dharma Master Cheng Yen, at itinuro ng ating mga ina ngayong ipinagdiriwang natin ang Mother's Day. Be grateful, be humble, and fall in love with others. Sa lahat po ng mga ina, we recognize and applaud you for nurturing your children to be the best persons that they are now. Isang pagsaludo at pagbibigay parangal sa lahat ng mga ina sa pagkupkop at pag-aalaga sa inyong mga anak upang maging mahalagang bahagi ng ating lipunan. Sa lahat ng mga ina o nanay sa puso at paglilingkod, lahat po kayo ay may mga kinakalinga, inaalagaan at minamahal. Ang inyo pong pagmamahal ay sinusuklian ngayon ng pasasalamat at respeto. In all these things, while Juchi Foundation celebrates its founding anniversary, it is also our time to pay back our gratitude and thanksgiving to all the good things that they have shared with us. Sa pamamagitan po ng isang malakas na palakpakan, ipakita natin kay Buddha, kay Master Cheng Yen at sa bumubuo ng Juchi Foundation ang ating walang hanggang pasasalamat. Alam po ninyo, sa aming bayan ng San Mateo, bilang tanda ng aming walang hanggang pasasalamat at pagyuko bilang pagkilala sa kabutihan ng Juchi Foundation, idineklara po ng aming ika-23 Sangguniang Bayan ang second Sunday ng bawat buwan ng Mayo, taon-taon bilang Juchi Day, Buddha Day at Mother's Day. Dahil sa kabutihan po ng Juchi sa San Mateo, hindi lamang po sa kalendaryo ng bayan nakatatak sa pamamagitan ng Municipal Ordinance 2013-8089, kundi higit kailanman nakatatak at nakaukit ang Juchi sa puso at diwa ng bawat isang mamamayan ng bayan ng San Mateo. And today, we'd like to pay tribute. Hinding-hindi po makakalimutan ng bayan ng San Mateo ang lahat ng kabutihan ng Juchi Foundation Philippines. Lalo na noong panahon, ang aming bayan ay nasa lanta ng malakas na habagat na nagdulot ng pagbaha at kasabay nun ay ang pagharap sa isang malaking hamon kung paano kami babangon. Ang Juchi Philippines po ang unang nagabot ng kanilang mga kamay, ng kanilang pagmamahal sa bayan ng San Mateo. Thank you very much, Juchi Foundation. Juchi Foundation never had a second thought or any hesitation to give us a helping hand. All our people are living witness how Juchi enabled thousands of our community members to rise above the mud and rubbles brought about by ravaging waters and flood. But more than that, Juchi ignited in our people once again a sense of brotherhood, a sense of sisterhood, of a true bayanihan in the midst of hopelessness and helplessness. Juchi made us realize of the power of unity and of love in the midst of crisis. For this, we shall forever be thank you. Maraming salamat, Juchi Foundation Philippines. Kaya nga po, Juan San Mateo, nagkakaisang San Mateo sa puso at diwa. Juchi, kayo po ang muling bumuhay ng diwang ito sa aming mahal na bayan at mga kababayan. We shall forever be grateful and be humbled by your goodness. May the heavens reward you with tranquility of hearts today and always. At the end, let me underscore. Juchi taught me personally something that I can never forget and will never ever forget. Through Uncle Fred, Kuya Mike, and all the other members, volunteers, commissioners of Chu Chi Foundation in the country, you have all taught me and continue to teach me each day that there is no path for happiness. Happiness is the path. There is happiness when there is gratitude and humility. There is happiness when there is abundance of love for humanity. Chu Chi Foundation, marami pong salamat. Thank you, and forever thank you for caring for our people. The purity of hearts and minds radiate and is boundless because of your love, your unconditional love. We will forever be inspired. We will forever be thankful and humbled. Sa lahat po ng mga ina na narito ngayon, remember that you are all loved and that you are all important. Wala po kami ngayon kung nasaan man o ano kami kung wala po kayong lahat. Kayo po ang mga nanay na unang nagturo at nagparamdam sa amin ng tunay na halaga ng pasasalamat at kababaan ng loob. The world is good because there are good people like you. The world is good because there is love, happiness, gratitude, and humility. Mapalad po ang inyong lingkod dahil ako mismo ay nabigyan po ng pagkakataon na makaharap ng personal ang ating great Dharma Master Chang Yen. Ang kanyang kababaang loob, pagiging simple o payak, at lahat ng kanyang turo ay aking inspirasyon bilang isang lingkod bayan. Master Chang's teachings reminds me of the power of goodness in one's being. Master Chang reminds me so clearly that leadership is giving love unconditionally through authentic actions and programs that promote the lives of others. Master Chang reminds me that to serve humanity, Master Chang's teachings always reminds me to serve humanity. To serve our people in San Mateo is to serve with all compassion and love for others, to look and treat others equally, to serve without counting the cost, to serve with joy and happiness in one's heart. Sa dami po ng aming mga kababayan na natulungan at patuloy na tinutulungan ng Chu Chi Foundation, I cannot do much but to reaffirm our ardent commitment that together we shall continue to carry our mission. Our being and our purpose in San Mateo will incessantly promote environmental protection and care, inspire the rich to help the poorest of the poor, and to continuously embrace the value of human life in all fronts and aspects. In San Mateo, our hearts and minds shall forever exist and move under the inspiration and dedication of Chu Chi Foundation. This shall be our happiness and peace. To be of service to others shall be our mission today and for always. For at the end of the day, the prosperity of every member of our community is our real happiness. This happiness that shall bring peace, not only in our midst, but also peace in our hearts and minds. This happiness shall always remind us to be grateful and humble, to fall in love with humanity and the universe. Muli, maraming salamat po sa pagkakataon mula po sa bayan ng San Mateo, isang pagyuko at pasasalamat ang aming ipinapaabot. Mabuhay po tayong lahat. God bless us all. Salamat po.
Thank you. Maraming salamat po kay Mayor Diaz no sa kanyang napaka-inspiring po na mensahe para sa atin no. At nagpapasalamat din po ang Chu Chi Foundation no sa Marikina City at sa San Mateo dahil sila po ang dineklara na ang every year second Sunday of May ay Chu Chi Day no ng Marikina City at ng San Mateo Rizal. So maraming salamat po. Palakpakan po natin sila.
Maraming salamat po, Mayor Diaz. And rest assured, San Mateo will always be with Chu Chi in one heart, one thought, and one heart, one love. And next in line, we would like to welcome Brother Henry Yunes, the CEO of Tzuchi Philippines, to give us opening remarks.
Mayors, vice mayors, councilor, 诸代表, brothers and sisters, good afternoon to everyone. Thank you for coming out today and joining us in this celebration. Every year, we gather together on the second Sunday of May to honor this three-fourth commemoration: Mother's Day, Buddha Day, and Tzuchi Day. 17 years ago, in the year 2000, this special day was designated by Taiwan government as the official Buddha's Day. In Tzuchi, we recognize today as the official Global Tzuchi Day. We do this because, for us, this day has many meanings. Mother's Day is a day we show our appreciation to our parents, for those who have oftentimes put their own comfort aside so that we may grow to be of the people we are today. Buddha Day is observed as bathing ceremony wherein we purify our minds by touching the fragrant water and taking in the spirit of Buddha's teachings in our heart. We respect to the great teacher Sakyamuni Buddha, who was born 2,500 years ago, for showing us a path out of suffering and into awakening. The third Tzuchi Day, where we celebrate our 51st anniversary since Dharma Master Cheng Yen started this foundation in 1966. We say thank you to our teacher, someone who has been like a mother, guiding us, encouraging us to do what is right, to do what is good, and to do what is true from the beginning. Thank you, Master Cheng Yen, and thank you to all Tzuchi volunteers and donors who continue to serve and to give for the benefit of mankind. Thank you. Salamat po. Amitofo.
Okay, maraming salamat sa ating CEO, si Brother Henry Yunes. At nagpapasalamat din po kami dahil taon-taon dito habang pinagdiriwang natin ang Buddha Day, Mother's Day, Tzuchi Day, mayroon po tayong mga taon-taon tayong sinusuporta sa ating security dito, no? At saka sa ating medical na emergency na response. So magpapasalamat at magbibigay po kami ng recognition po sa TextFAR volunteers, represented by Mr. Jones Lim. Palakpakan po natin sila. Simula pa po nung every year sa grand rehearsal natin at saka sa ating event, no, on that day of event, nandito po sila, nagpapadala po sila ng kanilang mga volunteers, kanilang ambulansya, no, at ang kanilang mga response team, no, para matulungan tayo sa pag-maintain ng ating security. So palakpakan po natin sila. Okay? At magpapasalamat din po tayo, no, sa Marikina Fire Brigade, no, na nandito rin po today para magbigay po sa atin ng tulong. At magpapasalamat po kami sa Philippine Air Force, represented by Major Rafael Ronas at Captain Annie Barredo. Magbibigay po kami ng Certificate of Appreciation upang magpasalamat po sa kanila at sa lahat po na tumulong po sa atin na nanggaling sa Philippine Air Force. Salamat po sa inyo. Okay, palakpakan natin muli sila at sa lahat po na tumulong po sa ating event na ito. Maraming salamat po sa inyong lahat. Okay, so tulad po ng sinabi po natin, no? It's a 3 celebration in a day, no? So today is also our Tzu Chi Day, no? Ang ating affinity with today na ang ating mga participants na nakaupo rito, no? May galing Marikina, San Mateo, at meron din pong Quezon City at sa Dreamland sa Rosario, Cavite, no? At iba't ibang parte pa po ng Metro Manila na sa iba't ibang paraan ay natulungan po ng Tzu Chi Foundation. At pinaka nakaka-touch po, no? Dahil parating tinuturo ni Master Cheng Yen sa atin, ang ating kamay, no? Ang aking kamay na nakaganyan, sa panahon na nangangailangan tayo ng tulong, ang ating kamay, ang palad natin nakataas. Subalit, no, sa Tzu Chi Foundation, we always inspire everyone na ang ating kamay ay ibaliktad natin ng ganyan. No? Anong ibig sabihin? Tayo rin po ay may kakayahan na tumulong sa ating kapwa. Kaya marami po dito na nakaupo sa ating formation, no? Araw-araw po nagdo-donate ng piso-piso. No? Piso-piso sa isang araw na ipinag-iipon po nila sa isang buwan at binigay sa Tzu Chi Foundation upang makatulong pa po sa ating ibang kapwa. Kaya palakpakan din po natin ang ating sarili. Okay, ang Tzu Chi Foundation itinaguyod ni Master Cheng Yen noong 1966 hanggang sa ngayon po, 51 years na po, no? At ang ating missions, the missions of charity, medicine, education, and humanistic culture, no? At pati na po ang environmental protection, international relief, no? At ang community volunteerism at bone marrow donation. Ito po yung tinatawag natin na 4 missions and 8 Dharma footstep of Tzu Chi Foundation. No? Ang itong pagmamahal, malawak na pagmamahal na ito ay ikakalat po natin sa buong mundo. Panoorin po natin ang isang short video, no, na para madagdagan pa po ang ating kaalaman at ang ating understanding po sa Tzu Chi Foundation.
In March 2011, a strong earthquake struck off Japan, triggering multiple disasters that shocked the whole world. In Taiwan, the leader of an NGO was keeping a close eye on the disasters in Japan. She is the founder of Tzu Chi Foundation, Dharma Master Zheng Yan. Shortly after the quake struck, Tzu Chi members sprang into action to prepare for disaster relief. Boxes of relief supplies were promptly shipped to Japan and distributed to disaster survivors in person. Hot meals were also handed out. Wherever disasters strike in the world, Tzu Chi volunteers will be there to provide aid. Clad in their trademark blue and white uniforms, the volunteers have set foot in over 70 countries to bring relief to disaster survivors and to help transform the lives of the impoverished. In 2010, the United Nations Economic and Social Council granted special consultative status to Tzu Chi. This signifies the international community's recognition of Tzu Chi's long-term relief efforts worldwide and its spirit of selfless love to relieve suffering. In 2011, Time magazine named Dharma Master Zheng Yan on its list of the 100 most influential people in the world. How did Tzu Chi begin? The origin of Tzu Chi can be traced back to 1966. Master Zheng Yan was cultivating herself in this small wooden hut in Hualien, eastern Taiwan. But unable to bear the sight of others suffering, she was determined to help. On May 14, 1966, she founded Tzu Chi together with her 6 monastic disciples and 30 housewives. In its early days, Tzu Chi had very scarce resources. To accumulate funds to help the poor, the nuns sewed baby shoes for sale, while the 30 housewives each set aside 50 NT cents from their grocery money every day and saved it into a bamboo coin bank. It is this spirit of hard work and frugality that helped lay the foundation for Tzu Chi's future development. In those days, Master Zheng Yan would personally visit the poor together with the volunteers. And this was the first step on the path leading Tzu Chi to become an NGO that provides aid around the world today. In 1972, Tzu Chi set up a free clinic in downtown Hualien. Hence, in 1979, Master Zheng Yan decided to build a hospital. However, by 1983, Tzu Chi only managed to raise 30 million NT dollars, which was far less than the estimated $600 million needed to build a hospital of 500 beds. After numerous hurdles, Hualien Tzu Chi Hospital was finally built and inaugurated in 1986. Equipped with state-of-the-art facilities, it was the first of its kind in eastern Taiwan. To better provide patient-centered care and safeguard people's health with love and respect, Tzu Chi has set up 6 hospitals around Taiwan in Hualien, Yulin, Guanshan, Dalian, Taipei, and Taichung. In its 3rd decade, Tzu Chi began to carry out the mission of education. By the year 2000, Tzu Chi's comprehensive educational system was completed when its university, technical college, middle schools, elementary schools, and kindergartens were established. In addition to setting up schools in Taiwan, Tzu Chi also helps to construct or rebuild many schools in other parts of the world. Prior to the start of their anatomy classes, Tzu Chi University's medical students pay their respects to the body donors. Through the service, the school hopes to inspire gratitude, respect, and love in students, so they can become humane, caring doctors in the future. Apart from instilling moral values in students, for years, Tzu Chi volunteers have also been working in the community, hoping to bring about warm and friendly neighborhoods where people help and care for one another. Tzu Chi volunteers are grouped into teams according to where they live. When a disaster strikes, volunteers living nearby will immediately contact one another and mobilize to bring aid and offer a shoulder for people to lean on. Day and night, rain or shine, these recycling volunteers tirelessly give of themselves to collect and sort recyclables in their community. Thanks to their effort, these plastic bottles are able to be processed and remade into blankets and clothing, which are then given to those in need.
Thank you for joining us.
Founded in 1998, Da'ai TV is a global satellite TV operator that broadcasts a variety of wholesome programming to serve viewers around the world. Apart from Da'ai TV, Tzu Chi's cultural mission also includes publications and radio programs that report stories about the bright side of humanity. From Taiwan and China to all across the world, wherever there are disasters, Tzu Chi volunteers can be seen bringing aid to those affected. In North Korea, Tzu Chi distributed food supplies to the locals and also brought care to children in an orphanage. In war-stricken Afghanistan, Tzu Chi volunteers distributed aid to people at a refugee camp in the midst of a snowstorm. During the Iraq War in 2003, Tzu Chi volunteers from Jordan traveled to Iraq to distribute relief supplies to those taking shelter at a refugee camp. In South Africa, Tzu Chi set up over 500 vocational training stations, helping over 14,000 Zulu women to become self-sufficient. Grateful for Tzu Chi's help, many have been inspired to serve as Tzu Chi volunteers. Indeed, during a relief mission, what Tzu Chi volunteers hope most of all is to bring love to people. By inspiring goodness in people, all they wish is to foster peace and stability in their society. The largest NGO in the Chinese-speaking world, Tzu Chi originated from a simple thought of goodness in the loving heart of a poor Buddhist nun. Under her guidance, regardless of race, religion, and nationality, Tzu Chi volunteers work selflessly to spread love throughout the world. Their conviction to serve has remained firm and steadfast for over 40 years. As natural and man-made disasters continue to ravage the world today, it is all the more important to inspire goodness in people and spread love around the world. After all, only when we help and care for one another can we bring about a better future for humanity.
Sa nakikita po natin sa ating video, ang mga nagawa ng Tzu Chi Foundation, bukod sa mga charity, ginagawa din po ang Tzu Chi ang pagtulong sa iba't ibang bahagi ng mundo. Sa sandaling ito, araw ng Mother's Day, gunitain po natin ang ating mga magulang. Sa pagkakataong ito, ang ating mga bisita, ang mga mayors at vice mayors, nais din nila, katulad natin, gunitain ang ating mga ina. At sa harap po dito natin ay ang mga nanay, naka San Mateo at taga Marikina po. So, ang mga mayors at vice mayor, nais po nilang mag-pay ng gratitude sa kanilang mga ina in behalf of mga nanay dito po sa harap natin. Mga mayors, welcome Mayor Marikina Mayor, Mayor Marcelino Teodoro. Come forward please. Okay.
Okay.
Magandang hapon po sa inyong lahat. O baka gabi na. Today is Mother's Day. May tanong ako sa inyo. Have you ever said, I love you to your mother? Maraming yes. Hangang-hanga ako sa inyo. Kasi ako, wala na yung nanay ko. Hanggang ngayon, hindi pa ako nakasabi sa kanya ng I love you. Eh, nasa semeteryo na eh. Kung sasabihin ko sa kanya, I love you, hindi na rin nila marinig. Kaya yun po ang greatest regret po ng buhay ko. Parang yung the greatest love of all is mother's love. Pagmahal ng nanay sa mga anak, parang very natural. Pero yung pagmahal ng anak sa ating magulang, parang mahirap ata minsan eh. Can we see a video? No? Yun, ang ganda ng video eh. No? English yan, I think we will all understand. Pakisyo na yung video po.
My little boy came up to me in the kitchen this evening while I was making dinner, and he handed me a piece of paper he'd been writing on. And after wiping my hands on my apron, I read it. And this is what it said. For mowing the lawn, $5. For making my own bed this week, $1. For going to the store, 50 cents. Playing with little brother while you went to the store, 25 cents. For taking out the rubbish, $1. Getting a good report card, $5. And for raking the yard, $2. Total owed, $14.75. Well, I looked at him standing there expectantly, and 1,000 memories flashed through my mind. And so I picked up the pen and turning the paper over, this is what I wrote. For the 9 months I carried you, growing inside me, no charge. For the nights I've sat up with you, doctored you, prayed for you, no charge. For the time and the tears that you cast through the years, there's no charge. When you add it all up, the cost of my love is no charge. For the nights filled with dread and the worries ahead, no charge. For advice and the knowledge and the cost of your college, no charge.